This is Monica from RDA Media. The story I have for you tonight is about 7news.com.au publishing an article that either has false information or tens and maybe hundreds of people are being forced to quarantine for absolutely no reason. On the
I just think we were just treated like second-class citizens today. Like everybody knew better than us. Everybody knew everything, but if everybody did know everything, we wouldn't have been in this situation because somebody down the line has said the wrong thing or done the wrong thing, and the wrong information's come out, but nobody's really checked it, and everybody's put it out there, and now people are suffering because of it.
On the 31st of December, 7news.com.au says clearly in black and white, more than once in this article, that if you arrive in Melbourne from New South Wales before midnight on the 1st of January, which is now before midnight, you only have to self-isolate and get a PCR test. However, many people arrived today and got forced to hotel quarantine, even though they changed their plans specifically to get into Melbourne before the cutoff, based on the advice from this article. Now, this one particular man that I was able to contact, and I'm about to show you an interview with him, had a flight from New South Wales to Melbourne on the 5th of January. He bought another ticket with a different airline so that he could get here before midnight tonight so that he wouldn't have to hotel quarantine. He doesn't want to have to pay the $3,000, and he doesn't want to have to be stuck in a hotel room with no airflow and no amenities and not being able to go outside and all the things that we take for granted. If he had known that the borders were shut and he would have to hotel quarantine, he would have stayed in Sydney where he was comfortable with his family. But instead, he took the leap and he hurried back to Melbourne because he read the information from this article saying that he would be able to go home and self-isolate. Instead, he's being forced to stay in a hotel for 15 days. Here's his story. So, Ronnie, you're stuck in the hotel inn near the airport in Melbourne, even though you planned and you paid extra to make sure that you were here by the deadline that 7news.com published yesterday. So you were all planned, you were going to self-isolate, you were going to look after yourself, but you hit Melbourne. Tell me what happened when you came out of the airplane.
As I said before, we had a couple agents waiting for us, and they were telling us that we actually had to go into quarantine because all of Sydney was a hot zone, and the day that we actually came in, even though that they said it was 11:59, that we still about 9 people today went into quarantine because we didn't know that they already moved forward the deadline after they made an announcement yesterday at 3:30 in the afternoon on New Year's Eve. Like, who does that? And I basically believed that I could come into the state and just self-isolate.
Right. And you, when you told them that, you said, hey, have you seen the article on 7 News? They said this, that and the other. It's been New Year's Eve. I haven't been checking my updates or whatever. I paid extra for a flight to make the deadline. What do you mean I have to force quarantine? What did they say when you asked those questions?
They were more basically concerned, or not concerned, but just getting us in and out, getting our details. No tests were actually done at the terminal. All that basically was done is they just sat us down, separated us, safe distance, and just took down all our details. And literally, we were there for 6 hours.
And in those 6 hours, were you comfortable? Did you get food and water and everything you needed?
Well, there's me who's a diabetic. There was a lady with a very, very young child. If it wasn't for her basically saying, well, I really need food, I've got a young child, I can't really say they don't care, but it just didn't feel like they were more into their work than actually helping us.
Now, what about that lady with the young child? Did she also think that she had come in time for the deadline?
Everybody did. Everybody thought we were in time, that we're just going to come home and just all self-isolate.
you're also a smoker. Now, it's beside the point.
Yes.
We all know it's bad for us or whatever, but you are a smoker at the end of the day, and it
Yes.
is your human right to smoke
Yeah.
if you want to. So,
Yes.
how's that going?
I've basically been told 2 times, one by a doctor, one by a nurse, that basically that I have to quit smoking and I have to either have the nicotine patches, the lozenges, or the gum. And I don't like the taste. I don't like them, so I'm gonna have to go cold turkey.
Usually, when we talk about hotel stays, we think about holidays or fancy business trips or something like that. But imagine being forced to stay in a hotel room for 14 days without any chance to even prepare. And on top of that, you were acting on advice from reputable sources. So, who made the mistake here? Was it 7news.com.au that made a misprint? I don't think so. They put the same date in there twice, and they've got the date and the time. So, I don't know who made the mistake, but someone needs to be accountable for this. Someone needs to explain to Ronnie why his extra money that he spent on a second ticket was totally pointless, and why he did exactly what he was told and is still being forced to stay in that hotel for 14 days. He is one of many, by the way. This is just one story. So I expect 7 News or someone else to explain to Ronnie why he's stuck there, even though he prepared specifically not to be stuck there. I hope we can get some answers for Ronnie. Thanks for watching. See you next time.